I only got into Magic the Gathering relatively recently, starting in late 2022 when the current set was Dominaria United, but I've already started to feel somewhat burnt out on this game, and so were a lot of other players. I remember hearing Mark Rosewater, the head designer of Magic the Gathering, saying in his Drive to Work podcast that the average length of player retention for MTG was around 10 years, which he touted as being very impressive, not just for a TCG, but for any game. But lately, I've seen
many Magic the Gathering players
come to my LGS fresh-faced and ready to dive into the game, only to stop playing after a month or two, maybe even weeks. I've seen friends who started around the same time as me pretty much quit the game. I've seen players I've met at my LGS who've been playing for years grow quickly disgruntled with the game and quit. From talking to people I know, as well as reading a lot of discussion online, I feel like a big part of this is the rapid Fortnitization of Magic the Gathering. What is Fortnitization? Well, it's a term I made up, but you can probably guess what it means. It means that the Magic the Gathering IP is diluting itself by bringing more and more other IPs into the game at an increasingly rapid pace. Let's look at the sets released from 2023 and compare them to what is going to be coming out in 2026, a mere 3 years later. The 2023 roadmap consisted of 4 main sets and 1 smaller set, all of which were set within the universe of Magic the Gathering. 2023 began with a bang.
Your realms are diseased. All will be one.
The first set was Phyrexia, All Will Be One, a set based around the invasion of the Phyrexians. Phyrexians are mutated abominations created by the eugenicist Yawgmoth. With transformative ichor dripping from their many cysts and gaping maws, these terrifying monstrosities won't rest until the entire multiverse has been completed, that is, turned into one of them. This set was exciting, as it was a big showcase set for one of the primary villainous factions within the MTG universe, and many fans were excited to see a big return to these creepy but inarguably cool monsters. This was followed by the next set, March of the Machines. This was meant to be the big climactic set where the Phyrexians were defeated. It was honestly kind of a flop. It felt pretty lame to have the Phyrexians be instantly beaten a couple months after they showed up, but hey, at least they were trying to do some cool stuff with the actual world and characters of Magic the Gathering. Next up was a mini set, March of the Machine Aftermath. Wizards of the Coast wanted to see how few cards they could sell us for the same price, and everyone hated it, and we don't talk about it. After this, we had Wilds of Eldraine. This set returned to the fairy tale plane of Eldraine, and yeah, it was pretty cool. The bonus sheet had pretty art and some nice reprints, and the overall vibe and flavour of the set was quite whimsical, but with a little bit of an edge. There were some powerful cards and some gorgeous art, and I think most people like this set quite a bit. Finally, for 2023, we had Caverns of Ixalan. This was a tribal, or kindred, or whatever you want to call it, set that was focused mainly on 4 fan-favourite creature types: pirates, vampires, merfolk, and dinosaurs. As someone who loves to play themed creature decks, especially dinosaurs, this was the set I was looking forward to all year, and it didn't disappoint. The pre-constructed decks were all great out the box. Pantlaza is the goat who would eventually take over from Atla Palani as my dinosaur commander, and it felt like all 4 featured creature types got some amazing new cards. There was, however, some Fortnitization going on here. When you opened a pack of Caverns of Ixalan, there was a chance you would get a Jurassic Park card. Yeah, you might pull a rare Jeff Goldblum card in your Magic the Gathering set. There was even a sexy Jeff Goldblum Secret Lair released alongside the set. Oh, £40 for 5 Jeff Goldblum cards and a Jeff Goldblum token? Fuck. I like Jurassic Park, and I like Jeff Goldblum. A lot of the Jurassic Park cards are pretty cool, even. I ran Blue and Chris Pratt as a commander deck and it was pretty good. I like the Pterodactyl that drops women onto your lands to kill them. But here we can see Wizards of the Coast forcing other IPs into sets within their own IPs. They did this a year before too, putting Transformers into their Brothers War set. You know, the set all about 2 of the most iconic Magic characters, Mishra and Urza, during one of the most iconic moments in Magic the Gathering lore. Turns out Optimus Prime was there all along, just off screen. And if you want to buy these packs, you're going to need to pick up a Bumblebee or 2 along the way. But before we get to the 2026 roadmap that makes me want to cry, let's have a quick history lesson. The first Universes Beyond product, Universes Beyond is Wizards of the Coast approved corpus speak for magic products that aren't about magic, was the Walking Dead Secret Lair back in 2020, just 5, almost 6 years ago. At the time, it was very controversial. I wasn't into Magic at the time, but I've always been into card games. I was only really into Yu-Gi-Oh! At this time, maybe a little bit of Hearthstone, but this news caught my eye. Wizards justified the release by stating that These cards were only for Commander, the format about having fun, playing wacky decks, and not taking yourself too seriously. The following is a quote I found by Wizards in their Statement on Secret Lair, The Walking Dead, written by Sheldon Menery, the grandfather of the Commander format. These cards are in no way a threat to the health of Commander. In fact, we see it as just the opposite. We're the only format that could bear the weight of this kind of experimentation. This is the format in which Crab Tribal is just as valid as Blood Pod. Adding a few quirky cards that aren't ubiquitously available doesn't threaten that. End quote. Another quote I'd like to bring to your attention is this. Some folks simply don't like the idea of The Walking Dead crossing over into Magic, a modern IP breaking an immersion barrier. We understand that feeling. None of us care at all about The Walking Dead. But also realise that almost everyone has some universe for which they've dreamed of having Magic cards. We don't think it's productive to try to gatekeep that. If you dislike it, we support you not playing with the cards. Introduction of different IP opens Commander to audiences who might have never heard of Magic or the format. End quote. When this secret lair was revealed, there were two main warring factions. On one side were those who thought it was cool and wanted to see their own favourite characters on future Magic cards. On the other side were Magic purists, who believed that this release was humiliating, ruining the reputation of the Magic IP, and that this was but a warning of what was to come. Most people on both sides could agree on one pivotal point, however. These Universes Beyond cards, whether you love them or hate them, if they have to exist, should stay limited to the Commander format. It would be totally not epic if you were forced to, say, buy a playset of £100 VVs from Final Fantasy IX to win a Standard Championship. Starting with the Final Fantasy set released just this year, all the Universes Beyond sets will be Standard legal. If you don't know, Standard is, well, the standard format of Magic the Gathering. Whilst Commander is the wacky 4-player free-for-all with your friends format, Standard is the way Magic has been played since the very beginning. Standard is the format you want to play if you want to be competitive. If you want to join the Pro Tour and become a real Magic the Gathering gamer. This year, the Standard Pro Tour has been dominated by VV Cauldron decks, with over 40% of decks being VV Izzet decks. As I was writing this script, VV has been banned because he was just too strong. And I mean, I like VV as a character. You probably do too, since you're a cool motherfucker. But this was foretold by the scribes of Reddit long ago, when The Walking Dead Secret Lair came out. Remember when, just 5 years ago, Wizards said Commander was the only format that could bear the weight of this kind of experimentation? When they said they support you not playing the cards. Now, if you want to play competitive 1v1 Standard Magic, you have to play the cards, and the format can't bear the weight of it. Now I bring you the 2026 roadmap. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles! Woohoo! As my favourite Magic the Gathering character Jeff Goldblum would say, that's a big pile of shit. Now, personally, I am looking forward to Lore and Eclipsed. Nah, I like the first Strixhaven. It came out when I was looking into Magic, but before I really started playing it. My first precom was the Brina one, the Strixhaven Brina precom. Strixhaven should be alright. Nothing groundbreaking, but alright. Reality Fracture might be interesting, because it's a Magic Universe set, but we know basically nothing about it. And yeah, 4 of the 7 sets in 2026 are Universes Beyond sets. Standard legal, you have to buy them to play competitive Magic, because this is just what Magic the Gathering is now. You have to play with the cards. Remember how in 2023 we had 4 main sets and 1 smaller set? And they were all within the Magic the Gathering universe? Now it's literally a new set every 2 months, and over half the products are basically big adverts for other franchises. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Marvel, The Hobbit, and Star Trek. Wow. Wow. Incredible. But that's just crazy, right? But over half the sets aren't even Magic sets. That's insane! Because what's 2027 going to be? Well, I've actually hacked into the Wizards of the Coast mainframe and found the roadmap for 2027, so here it is. So in 2027 it's going to be 9 sets, 8 Universes Beyond and 1 in-universe set. So let's have a look. January 2027, we have Shrek. March 2027, we have Austin Powers. I guess Mike Myers signed a really good contract. April, we have an interesting set, McDonald's versus KFC. I heard they might be bringing back battles for that set. Yet to be confirmed, but it's looking likely. In May we have Minecraft. A lot of people will probably like that one. July 2027 we have Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I'll admit I'm interested in that one. I'll admit. I'm probably going to have a Roderick Commander deck. I mean, I'm a hypocrite. We're all hypocrites. Alright, I bought the Sonic Secret Lair. Alright, you probably bought Lord of the Rings. So, shut the fuck up. In August... Ooh! We have Dark Souls in August 2027! I'm just surprised it's something people have actually asked for. In September... It's quick. The sets are coming out. Quick. No time to enjoy them. Dark Souls, that's gone. September, we have Earth, Wind, and Fire. I don't know how they'll stretch that into a whole set, but sometimes they don't. We get Spider-Man or something where we just don't really try. And that's okay, because we can just move on. We can just move on to October, where we have Scooby-Doo. Oh, yes. Again, I'm actually pretty hyped for that one. Shaggy, obviously. I like Fred as well. Not many people like Fred. I like Fred. Oh yeah, no, I forgot about Magic the Gathering sets. Yeah, right at the end here, December 31st, we have a set that's actually in the Magic the Gathering universe. We just have like a placeholder code name at the minute, like how Phyrexia be one was lacrosse, Wires of Eldraine was netball in development, and so on. We have an in-universe Magic set code named Token. So maybe it'll be about tokens and stuff. Who knows? Yeah. All jokes aside, the 2026 roadmap is rough. When I first saw it, I just felt like disappointed, tired. In just a few short years, this game feels as though it's been almost entirely swallowed up by IPs, by pandering to those who don't even really care about Magic the Gathering. I'm tired. My friends are tired. From what I've seen in my LGS and online, everyone who actually cares about Magic the Gathering, as in Magic the Gathering, is tired. People have tried to warn us about this from the very beginning, and Wizards of the Coast lied to our faces. They lied about how much Universes Beyond product there would be. They lied about how invasive it would be to the game. They lied about its legality in other formats. And now I don't trust a word they say. None of us do, really. It's like Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast are chasing short-term profits and advertising at the cost of alienating their hardcore primary fanbase. And when these tourists who buy a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles deck play for a week or two and then forget about Magic for the rest of their lives, when they're all gone, Hasbro is going to turn back and there'll be no one there anymore.